are the last places you'd expect to call home.
A train depot, a general store,
And a pump house. I'm Tony Frazran, and all these homes have been rezoned.
not too far north of Houston Street in Lower Manhattan. Robert Wilson and his wife Barbara are living the dream in a 2,200 square foot loft in the fashionable NoHo district.
Welcome to 3 Great Jones Street. Step into our own private alley in the heart of downtown Manhattan.
You may recognize it because it's often used by directors for films. It's a Spike Lee favorite, but now it's the private road to our stable house. And not even Donald Trump has a private road here in New York. This is an 18th century private carriage lane. Now, 100 years ago, this would have been full of carriages. They would keep their horse safe and sound in this private stable.
These are the original doors, 14 feet high, wide enough for any carriage, horse, and us.
Come on in.
Built in 1843, this stable was home to the finest horses of New York's upper crust. On the ground floor, Robert and Barbara replaced 1,300 feet of horse stalls with an open living room, dining room, kitchen, and bath.
And because of the height, there was originally haylofts up here.
The rickety hayloft ladder gave way to a sleek spiral staircase.
I love the curved aspect of it.
It's great, too, because when you walk in the door for the first time, it's the first thing you see.
Stairway to heaven.
Suspended above the living room and kitchen is a 900 square foot hideaway with an office, an art studio at one end, and a private master suite at the other.
Let me show you the master bathroom. What I wanted to do was pick up another element of the beautiful mosaic designs in the New York subways. So this kind of horizontal banner runs through a lot of New York subway stations, so a little another touch of old New York.
And right next door,
This is the master bedroom, and the closets are interesting that we have built-in closets here for me.
but what about Barbara?
I don't have a shoe fetish, like many women.
But still, she needs a place to hang her hat, and space is tight, so Robert added additional closets.
So they're cantilevered. They literally hang out over the open space of the second floor, and that way we don't lose space in here.
That was one reason the glass was nice. It made it seem larger than it actually is.
To have the entire wall of glass not only visually is appealing, but it's a wonderful tribute to when this place was a glacier.
After horse carriages disappeared from the streets in the early 1900s, a glassmaker and several other businesses moved through this building.
This was the center of New York's dental surgery industry in the late 1800s. Then at the turn of the century, this became sweatshops. And the last thing it was as a full industry was a glazier, where they made custom glass for stores.
In 1976, Robert and his college buddies moved in, and the neighborhood was pretty rough.
These huge windows here just had plexiglass bolted in, and I was robbed twice just because you could push it in, and it really was a risky place to live. My rent was $450 a month, and that's why I was here.
Robert and his roommate were still renting the place when Barbara came on the scene.
I met Rob when he was a dashing bachelor, and he brought me back one day to see this place, and house cleaning was not one of their favorite activities. My jaw dropped.
For years, the kitchen doubled as a makeshift bathroom.
The bathroom shower was one of those really cheapy tin 3x3 boxes you see outside public pools.
The shower, it was enough to put you off bathing.
But still, Barbara was intrigued. Robert's old girlfriends were not.
Or actually one said, "Be careful of Barbara, she only wants you for your loft."
But Robert was hooked. He got a new wife, and after 20 years of renting the space, he got the opportunity to buy the building for only $270,000.
Which is outstanding. We had a lot of work to do.
Robert and Barbara poured themselves into the renovations, moving the bathroom out of the kitchen. And in the living room,
We gutted these 2 pillars, which were encased in mortar, and found them to be steel.
the beams looked a little rough, but they wanted to leave them exposed.
And we found an emulsion that actually is iron filaments in a glue emulsion. And we painted that on all the steel surfaces, and before your eyes, it oxidized. And then we fixed it, and there you have that finish. This is all actual rust.
And after all was said and done,
We did this entire renovation for under $200,000, which is amazing. Now, the great thing is I've just had this loft appraised at over $3 million. So after I found my wife, the luckiest thing I found was this loft.
and being in the middle of the block, it's quiet and comfortable.
It's like we're in Vermont. You can't hear a thing outside except for the subways going underneath.
Robert and Barbara have 6 subway lines running under their living room.
When our friends from California come, and if they stay overnight, of course, it's a panic the first time the express rolls through because the glasses shake and vibrate, and they think it's an earthquake, but it's just a subway.
And what's a little subway noise when you can preserve a piece of New York history?
A big developer could have come in, built $10 million lofts. Rob really did oversee bringing it really back up to snuff so it's not going to collapse in the next few years.
And the commute to work's not half bad either.
40 seconds flat.